Hunger Games: Catching Fire Part 2.
You mean Mockingjay Part 2? Okay,
I'm tired.
well,
Anyway.
the story is the continuation of the rebellion of the first one, where they try to take over the capital and free Panam.
And overthrow President Snow.
Yes. Who is fantastic in the movie.
He's always been good, but this
one he's great in.
Donald Sutherland, who plays President Snow, has always been a very good villain. But in this movie, one of the things I liked about it is that they really do flesh out his character more. But
okay, well, the story is the rebellion is going. They're getting closer and closer to the capital. When they finally get it, then they're in the capital, and there's the whole part of the movie where they try to take over the capital, and a bunch of stuff happened, which I don't want to spoil. A lot of cool things, and
really, it's just the final piece of the Hunger Games. That's what it is. It's the continuation that you've the conclusion, sorry, of pretty much the franchise that you've been watching, like for I don't know, what's it been, 3.5 years?
Yeah, just, something like that.
You know, it ends it for you.
Pretty well, I thought. That's one thing I enjoyed about it. It ends the franchise pretty good. It doesn't end it badly. I thought it ended well. Other things I liked, the acting was well done.
The acting's always been good.
It is well done. Just something I like done.
This is consistent.
It is
very consistent with the quality of it.
I like there's traps in the capital when they try to take it over. There's some pretty imaginative traps.
Crazy shit goes on.
Yeah, a lot of crazy shit. The mutations, whatever they call them.
Just say mutations.
Mutations. There's some of those again. They're pretty. When they happen, they're pretty holy crap, because they come out of nowhere.
Pretty intense moments.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happens when they come out. The whole story is pretty good.
Yeah, it's a good conclusion. What did you dislike about this movie?
I guess some aspects seemed a little boring. It went not boring, but slow. Some parts were a little slow, but it got more fast paced as you went in. Other things.
Anything else you disliked?
I always have a hard time thinking. No, you can just go.
I mean, I'm like you. I'm a fan of these books. I like these books a lot.
They are good.
The books are good.
Even the third one.
I do like Mockingjay, the book. It is good.
Even though so many people hate it.
But okay, my opinion on these movies, just so you know where I stand here. First movie I enjoyed. I like that movie. Second movie, it's pretty good. I like it. Mockingjay Part 1, the most before this, the most recent one, the third movie. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
While I can't exactly say that I liked this new one, this last movie, the movie that came before it, Mockingjay Part 1, I dislike it. I was put off by its general unpleasantness of sitting there and watching it, not of what was on screen, but just the experience of sitting and watching, I didn't enjoy. So that's my review of the first part. The second one, I don't know, I was very bored with the first movie, the first part.
Yeah,
this movie is very slow as well. At parts.
At parts, yes.
But it's slower and needs to be, because it's build up.
Yeah,
It's building up. Like I said, I can't quite say I liked it because there are some problems I had with it, which I will get to in a second. But despite the fact that I can't quite recommend it, I was never bored in it. This movie is almost 2.5 hours long. It is, for a lot of it, it is fairly slow moving. I was not bored. I did enjoy the smaller moments. And I enjoyed the bigger moments as well, like the traps, like you said, some of the
Yeah.
some of the big action scenes. Like, it's funny for a movie that moves fairly slow for the majority of it, then it suddenly just explodes into big action scenes every once in a while.
It's slow and all of a sudden boom.
And when
there's
there's when there are strong visual scenes in this movie,
They-
they're
oh,
glorious. There are
they
some
are.
genuinely memorable like images in this movie that I really enjoyed. The acting, as usual with this franchise, it's always been very consistently very good. Jennifer Lawrence is this character. She's
She
always
is.
been. She's not surprisingly,
Proves it again and again.
not surprisingly, very, very, very good, as is the rest of the cast. Donald Sutherland, who's always played
He
President
improves on the character,
President
actually.
Snow. Who's always played President Snow. His character gets a little more fleshed out in this one. You get to know a little bit more how his mind works, which I loved. And as much as I'm praising this movie, there's a few things that just kind of brought it down for me, which I can't quite say I enjoyed the entire movie. Like I said, I was never bored with it, but there are moments early on where it is fairly slow. I wasn't bored. I just characters I didn't really care what was happening, honestly.
There was a few of
I
those.
wasn't bored. I was disinterested,
Yeah.
like with what some of the characters were doing and some of the motivations. I don't know. Some of my interest was kind of dwindling in the early chunk of the movie. It's kind of underwhelming for the first chunk of it as well. Really, the majority of the problems I have with it though would be in the first hour of it, because once it gets
When you
going,
get the build up.
it's an enjoyable movie
It's
once
pretty
it
much-
gets going. It's
The first
just
hour is just build up till they get the cap.
my main problem with this movie is I don't know. It doesn't it is a good ending.
It is.
It's just it doesn't quite pack the punch I wanted it to be. It's not quite memorable for me. It's not quite like this. It's a movie that's billed as these movies have always been huge box office successes, as everyone knows. It's just for something that's ending such a big franchise, it's a good ending. It's just it feels a little cold for me, a little bit like not so much big event movie of the season. That's fucking Star Wars. But no, seriously, like this movie doesn't quite feel like big event movie so much as here's the ending. It's good. It's good, but it's not this big huge fireworks thing, which it didn't need to be. But at the same time, that's my problem with it. It's just
But that's
it's hard to fault this movie, but I can't quite
But
say
that is
I
also
liked
how
it.
the book was.
I know
the book
that.
ends like that. It's
Oh,
not a
I-
big boom.
I know
It's
that.
just Sort
It's
of,
just in a movie form, it's not quite satisfying for
that
me.
is true.
But that's purely my opinion. But would you say this movie is theater worthy?
yes, I would say so.
Purely for the experience, the visuals, and several moments in this movie,
And
yes,
just
it's worth it.
end just so you can.
Like if you've stuck like
If you've seen them all, you might as well go and see.
if you've seen all these movies in theaters, you've already seen this. And if you haven't, do it. Just end it. Just end it.
End it now.
Yeah, I would say it. While I cannot, I am honestly rather conflicted with this movie. I can't quite say I recommended it, but for the experience alone, I would say yes, it is worth it seeing in theaters.
What do you give it out of 4?
I would give it 2.5 stars out of 4. I cannot quite recommend it. It is close. I definitely like this more than Mockingjay Part 1. I do not like it as more as the first two movies in this franchise, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go with 2.5. That's just me.
I'm gonna have to go with 3. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good ending. Even though, yes, I see what you mean. It doesn't have that pack punch as in.
Very conflicted with this movie because the things I dislike, but the things I really like. It's just doesn't quite fit for me. The
Yeah.
pieces don't quite come together.
Well, that
but,
makes sense.
yeah.
Well, that's another ending to admission. So, please subscribe, like, or do whatever the hell you want.
Also, watch Krampus.
Watch crap as.
It's fun. Bye.